Alexander Lewis, and today we are at Trunk Clothiers on Chiltern Street in Marylebone to look a little bit at the different ways men can tie their scarves. Well, it's important for the time of year we're in. Obviously, most men are starting to bring out their scarves, collections, or a single scarf that they may own. In London, a style city for gentlemen, you know, we have to contend with our Italian and our French counterparts who are also here, who seem to be a little bit more, perhaps, you know, adjusted to the various ways they can tie scarves, where it's so much more part of their entire flair, their style of dressing. One of the first options with this lovely cashmere drapes scarf is the most classic, which is the scarf itself is folded into two, and the looped end goes on one side, and you simply pass it through. And that is probably the most simple method there is, and you can close your jacket over it like that. Very simple, no hassle, easy. A second way you can do it is with a similar scarf, the same scarf in this case. If you start with one end quite short, and you have that, you bring that in here, sort of sitting anywhere on your chest, and the longer end you wrap around all the way, so it's sort of nicely snuggling around your neck, and you just stick the other end there and close up your jacket again. It's not so tight around your neck, it's just sort of a little bit more flair with this one and still keeping your neck nice and warm. A third option, simple again and very classic, is simply to just take the scarf and place it around your neck and cross it over on your chest and close up your jacket. And usually with your jacket it's going to stay in place, and crossing it on your chest is adding a little bit extra layer of warmth on your chest there to stop any sort of wind or cold air going through there. If you just have it hanging down, it sort of moves around. I like to personally tuck it in when I can, but you can also, in some of the other forms, wear it out of the jacket. This one is maybe a little bit more complex, but very akin to something you're probably used to doing every single day, which is tying a tie. So I like to have a longer end and a shorter end again, and I pass it over and around as though I was doing a tie, and then I just go through there. And this one is a little bit more playful. It sort of has a little bit more of a long flare to it. It doesn't really sit against your neck. It's keeping the back side of your neck warm as opposed to the front opening there. If you're wearing a tie, you could still nicely frame the knot of your tie with the knot of your scarf, and you can either tuck it in or you can leave it out. We're going to go with a larger, thicker scarf, something more like this, nice checked scarf here, a little bit more warmth and a little bit more bulk with it as well. What we may want to do, another option, is again starting with a shorter end, like this. You wrap it around, and then you can tie it in the front like that. So you're getting a little bit more security from the scarf being tied, you're getting a little bit more flair and sort of volume from the top part there, and you can still hold it in with your jacket. One way that I'm not a very big fan of is perhaps if you have a longer scarf, or with this one, when people just throw it over themselves like this. It's sort of, to me, this is a bit more of a sort of a children's way of doing it and a little bit more feminine, whereas the other ways are a little bit more masculine. People also just do this, which is the same sort of thing. It's not really doing anything. It's almost like you're wearing a shawl, which is probably something more like your mother might be wearing than yourself. So that was a handful of ways that you can tie your scarf. As I said earlier, everybody probably has their own way of tying their scarves, so experiment, find your own style, or use one of ours. Thank you.